Internships are so important today, so much more than ever before.
The entry-level market is getting brutal. Recent college graduate unemployment has risen above the national average, while companies are reducing entry-level hiring and automating more junior tasks with AI. So, if you're a college junior and you did not get a summer internship, you are not allowed to waste this summer. Not having an internship does not mean you cannot get a job after graduation. It means you need a different strategy, and that strategy starts this summer. Today, I'm giving you the No-Internship Summer Playbook for college juniors. If you follow this seriously, you can still graduate with a strong resume, real skills, real evidence, and real job options. Here's the biggest mistake college students make. They think employers care mainly about classes. They don't. Your degree matters. Your GPA can matter. But once you get past basic screening, employers start asking, what can this person actually do? Can you analyze data, communicate professionally, solve problems, learn quickly, work with people, finish projects? That's what matters. And here's the good news. You do not need an internship to build those signals. You can create them yourself. This is where proactive students separate themselves from passive students. Most students wait for opportunity. Strong students manufacture opportunity. Huge difference. Here's what students think the problem is. I don't have an internship. But that is not the full problem. The real problem is this: you have no proof. No proof that you can solve problems. No proof that you can use tools. No proof that you can communicate professionally. No proof that you understand how businesses actually work. No proof that you can create value without someone holding your hand. That's why employers like internships. Not because internships are magical, but because internships create proof. They create evidence. They show that someone trusted you, gave you work, and you survived in a professional environment. So if you don't have an internship, your job is simple. You must create alternative proof. That is the whole game. Proof. And this summer, you need to build it. The first thing you need to do this summer is pick a target role. Not a dream company, not I want to work at Google, not I want to work in finance, not I'm open to anything. That sounds flexible, but to employers it often sounds unfocused. Instead, choose one or two specific entry-level roles. For business majors, examples include marketing analyst, business analyst, sales development representative, financial analyst, operations analyst, HR coordinator, project coordinator, supply chain analyst. Pick the role first, then reverse engineer what that role requires. Go to LinkedIn, go to Handshake, go to Indeed, find 20 job postings for that role, then make a simple spreadsheet. Column 1, skill. Column 2, how often it appears. Column 3, how you will prove it. If Excel appears 16 times, that's a signal. If SQL appears 10 times, that's a signal. If CRM, Tableau, Power BI, Google Analytics, Salesforce, communication, or cross-functional collaboration keeps appearing, that's a signal. Stop guessing. The job postings are telling you what to build. Most students do this backward. They ask, what do I like? That matters, but employers ask, what can you do? So this summer, your job is to close that gap. Now, this is where most students mess up. They say, I'll take an online course. Good. But a certificate alone is weak. A certificate says, I watched videos. A project says, I can do something. So this summer, build one serious portfolio project connected to your target role. Not 10 tiny projects, one serious project. For example, if you want marketing analytics, analyze social media engagement data, website traffic, or ad campaign performance. If you want finance, build a company valuation model, budget forecast, or industry financial comparison. If you want operations or supply chain, analyze delivery delays, inventory problems, or process bottlenecks. If you want sales, build a prospecting strategy for a real industry. Create a lead list, write outreach sequences, and track response assumptions. If you want business analytics, find a public data set and create a dashboard with clear business recommendations. And here is the key. Do not make it look like homework. Make it look like work. That means your project should have a business problem, a data set or evidence, an analysis, a recommendation, a short executive summary, and a clean visual output. For example, why are customer cancellations increasing? What product category has the best margin? Which region should this company target next? What factors predict employee turnover? What pricing strategy would improve revenue? That is much better than, here is my Excel certificate. Employers don't hire certificates, they hire evidence. Also remember, projects create interview stories, and interview stories are gold because now instead of saying I'm hardworking, you can say over the summer I built X. I analyzed Y. I improved Z. That sounds completely different. Now let's talk about AI because this matters a lot. The companies hiring today increasingly expect graduates to adapt quickly to AI-integrated workplaces. At the same time, employers are increasingly concerned that students are using AI to make applications look stronger than their actual abilities. A recent employer survey reported concerns that AI-generated applications may misrepresent graduates' real skills. So here's the danger. If you use AI to fake competence, you lose. If you use AI to build competence, you win. Bad use of AI. Do this homework for me. Write my resume. Write my cover letter. Answer this interview question for me. Good use of AI. Here is my analysis. Challenge my assumptions. Here is my dashboard. What business insight am I missing? Here is my resume bullet. Make it more specific and measurable. Here is a job posting. What skills do I need to prove? Here is my project. Help me prepare interview answers based on it. That is how serious students use AI, not as a replacement for thinking, as a thinking amplifier. This summer you should become fluent in using AI for research, analysis, editing, and improving writing, interview preparation and communication in general. Also, don't forget to build something using Codex or Claude Code. Employers are increasingly asking interviewees to build something on the spot during an interview. Fear not, those apps are easy to use. Just do it. Now, if you didn't get a formal internship, create an informal one. I call this a micro-internship. Here's how. Find a small business, nonprofit, student organization, local startup, church, campus office, or family business. Then offer to solve one small problem, not,
"Can I have an internship?"
that sounds like paperwork. Instead say,
"I'm a business student trying to build experience in marketing analytics. I'd be happy to review your website traffic, social media performance, or customer outreach process and create a short recommendation report."
or,
"I'm interested in operations. I'd be happy to map out one process, identify bottlenecks, and suggest improvements."
or,
"I'm interested in finance. I'd be happy to build a simple budget tracker or revenue forecast template."
make the ask small, make it useful, make it low risk. You are not asking them to create a whole internship program. You are asking for one problem, one project, one deliverable, one testimonial. And if you do it well, now you have something powerful. Real-world experience. A resume bullet, a story for interviews, a professional reference, maybe even a job lead. This is how you turn No-Internship into self-directed consulting project. And yes, that sounds much better. Also know this, employers know many college students start with limited formal experience. What they really want is evidence of initiative. Here's another mistake students make. They wait until September to fix their resume. Too late. Fall recruiting moves fast, so your resume needs to be ready before the semester starts. Not perfect. Ready. And your resume should not be a list of responsibilities. It should be a list of evidence. Weak bullet.
Worked on marketing project.
Better bullet.
Analyzed 12 months of Instagram engagement data and identified 3 content categories associated with higher audience interaction.
Weak bullet.
Used Excel.
Better bullet.
Built Excel model to compare pricing scenarios and estimate revenue impact across 3 customer segments.
Weak bullet.
Help student organization.
Better bullet.
Created outreach tracker for student organization, improving follow-up consistency across 40 prospective members.
Specific beats vague. Measured beats general. Evidence beats adjectives. Do not tell employers you are hardworking. Show them what your work produced. Now let's talk about networking. Most students hate this word because they think networking means begging strangers for jobs. That is not networking. Good networking is simply learning from people, building relationships, and becoming visible. This summer, your goal is simple. Have 15 conversations. That's it. 15. Alumni, family friends, former interns, recent graduates, professors, career center contacts, people working in your target role. Send a short message.
Hi, I'm a rising senior studying business, and I'm exploring entry-level roles in business analytics. I noticed your path into the field and would really appreciate 15 minutes to ask about your work and what skills matter most for new graduates.
That's it. No begging, no weird flattery, no "can you get me a job?" Just curiosity. Then ask.
What does your job actually involve? What skills do new hires usually lack? What tools should I learn? What makes an entry-level candidate stand out? What mistakes should I avoid?
At the end, ask.
Is there one other person you recommend I speak with?
That is how networking compounds. One conversation becomes 2, 2 becomes 5, 5 becomes 15. And by the time senior year begins, you are no longer just another anonymous applicant. You are a student with direction, projects, and relationships. That matters. And students massively underestimate this. One strong conversation can change your trajectory. One mentor can change your trajectory. One referral can change your trajectory. Here's something students overlook. You do not magically become good at interviewing when interview season starts. You become good by practicing before it matters. This summer, prepare 5 stories. 1 story about solving a problem. 1 story about learning a difficult skill. 1 story about working with a team. 1 story about handling failure. 1 story about your portfolio or micro-internship project. Use the STAR format: situation, task, action, result. But don't sound robotic, sound human. For example,
This summer, I didn't have a formal internship, so I decided to create my own project. I noticed that a local business had inconsistent social media engagement, so I collected data from their public posts, categorized content types, and built a short report showing which posts performed best. The project helped me practice data analysis, business communication, and recommendation making.
that is a strong interview answer. Why? Because it shows initiative, it shows maturity, it shows that you did not sit around feeling sorry for yourself. You created evidence, and that is the theme of this whole video. Now let me make this very practical. Here is your 10-week plan, weeks 1 and 2. Choose your direction. Pick 1 or 2 target roles. Analyze 20 job postings. Identify the top 5 skills. Update your LinkedIn headline. Clean your resume format, weeks 3 and 4. Build core skills. Take a focused course. Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, Salesforce, Google Analytics, financial modeling, whatever matches your target role. But remember, the course is not the final product. The project is. Weeks 5 and 6. Build your portfolio project. Choose a real business problem. Collect data. Analyze it. Create visuals. Write a 1-page executive summary. Make it clean enough to show an employer. Weeks 7 and 8. Create real-world experience. Reach out to small businesses, nonprofits, student organizations, or local offices. Offer 1 small project. Complete 1 deliverable. Ask for feedback. Ask for permission to mention the project on your resume. Week 9, build your job search materials, rewrite your resume, create a short LinkedIn featured section, upload your project summary or portfolio link, draft 2 versions of your elevator pitch, prepare 5 interview stories. Week 10, start networking and applying early. Have at least 5 informational conversations, build a target employer list, set up job alerts, contact alumni, get ready for fall recruiting before everyone else wakes up. That is the playbook. Not glamorous, not easy, but absolutely doable. Now let me be clear, this does not guarantee you a job. Nothing does. The job market is competitive. Entry-level roles are changing. AI is reshaping how employers think about junior talent. And internships still give students a major advantage. So no, I am not saying internships do not matter. They do. But I am saying this: if you did not get one, your summer is not worthless. It only becomes worthless if you do nothing. The students who lose are not the ones without internships. The students who lose are the ones who spend the summer saying, "I'll figure it out later." Later is senior year. Senior year is applications. Applications require evidence. Evidence must be built now. That is the timeline. So if you are a college junior with no internship this summer, here is the message. You are behind some students, but you are not finished. This summer, build proof. Pick a role. Study job postings. Build a project. Create a micro-internship. Network before you need help. Fix your resume. Practice your stories. And walk into senior year with evidence. Because employers do not just ask.
Did you have an internship?
They ask.
What can you do?
And if you can answer that question clearly, specifically, and confidently, you are still in the game. If you made it this far, you clearly care. So let me give you one bonus piece of advice. Don't become obsessed with landing the perfect job or working for a big-name company right away. It's okay if your first job is not your dream job. What matters is getting a solid job. Frankly, what matters is getting a job, one that allows you to build skills, learn how the workplace actually works, and start gaining real experience. Because once you have actual experience under your belt, everything changes. You become more credible, you become more confident, and you become more competitive for the next opportunity. So don't just sit around waiting for the perfect job. Start somewhere. Build from there. That's how careers actually happen. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Ciao.